Hey everyone, today I'm going to try doing a voiceover for the video and seeing how that goes. This is my manga haul from secondhand sources including Mangaswap, eBay, Mercari, etc. Alright, so first up we have a package from an Amazon affiliated seller. The manga is Blackjack Volume 5. I've been slowly collecting the series by Osamu Tezuka whenever I can for reasonable prices because they are either out of print or out of stock mostly. I currently own volume 1 to 5, but I haven't started reading it yet. I really love their spines with the cartoon on the side and their multi-color covers because I feel like that's very unique. So I've been enjoying collecting that so far. Next up, this is a package that I've bought from a seller on Mangaswap, the subreddit. There are a lot of people there selling great mangas for decent prices for secondhand, so if you're interested in that, please go check it out. From this seller, I bought volume 1 of Kenshin and volume 1 of a manhwa called Jack Frost. I have never read either of these series and I don't know much about them. I know Kenshin was probably a childhood favorite of many people's, but it wasn't one of mine. However, I really love the spine of the Visbig style, similar to how it's sort of like Vagabonds. So I did end up starting to collect the series, and the cover looks pretty nice, and I'm interested in most animes or mangas that have any sort of sword characters, any sort of sword fighting, things like that. So next we have Jack Frost. The cover looks very interesting, sort of horror, gory. I don't know much about the series other than that some people think that it's similar to Hellsing, but I've never read or seen Hellsing, so I'm interested in starting both of them and seeing how they compare to each other. The book is, or the series is rather old, I believe, so a lot of places do sell it for cheaper prices, so I might collect it if I'm interested. Next is another package from Mangaswap. This seller did a really great job with the packaging. The series is Orange, the Complete Collection, Book 1 and 2. I am probably planning to pick up a Part 3. That's sort of a extended edition where you see things from the guy's perspective, I believe. So I'll probably end up picking that in the future. I vaguely recall seeing part of the anime for this series in the past, and I believe that the premise of the story is that the main female character receives a letter from her future self telling her to not fall in love or to go out with the current guy that she's interested in, or else bad things will happen. And this sort of time travel continuum theme is definitely my type of genre, so this fits right in. If you look at the cover, you'll notice that it shows the characters during their school years, and then on the back it shows what they're like as adults, so that's a very nice touch. Yeah, so I'm really interested in reading this and seeing what sort of extra details there is. I know it talks a little bit about mental health and things like that. So next up, this is a package I got from Mercari, which is a site that's similar to like an eBay, but I know a lot of people in Japan is very popular there. So sometimes you can pick up a lot of Japanese mangas there as well. I got To Your Eternity Volume 1, which I've been looking for a while because it's been out of sale on most sites, including Amazon and Rightstuff. But I'm glad I finally got this. I first read this volume online because I wasn't able to access it in physical copy, and it was amazing, so I can't wait to read it. Volume 1 is it could be its own story. It could be its own short story if it was not in the series, because it was so touching. Like the story between the boy, the wolf, and the villagers, like everything was just very well intricate, and it was just a great prologue into the story. Next is another package from Macari. I've got Animal Land Volume 1 to 3 from the seller. I believe this series might be an older one because there is some yellowing of the pages, so I believe that it's probably an older series, and I would probably compare it to Beastar, even though I know they're not quite the same. I have not seen a Red Beastar, so I'm not even sure why I'm comparing them. However, the covers of these mangas just look really, really nice. Sort of like they came out of like a children video game like Maple Story or something. However, I know that this series talks about a few philosophical details, sort of about like survival, or maybe even like the meaning of life, or how, you know, animals communicate to each other and things like that. And the main character is, I believe, the only human being that's in this story. So I do want to pick up this whole series eventually if I like it. I'm not sure how the series ended. Well, of course I've never read it, but I think there are some people who aren't happy with how it ended, but I don't know. Let me just read it first before I criticize it or anything. But I usually like to get, you know, the first 3 volumes of a series, try it out, and then see if I like it or not. Next up is a package that I've ordered probably around 2 months ago, and now it finally came in. I bought it from Simon and Schuster, and this is for Monster Volume 2 and Volume 7, which are out of sale on most places, and the price is marked up on eBay and everything. So I'm glad that they finally have it in stock and that they finally shipped it out. They came in great conditions. So now I have Volume 1 to Volume 7 of Monster, and I'm still missing Volume 8 and Volume 9. I have read this series in the past. It was one of my first series from Naoki Urasawa, and because I love this series a lot, I ended up reading the other works, including 20th Century Boys, and I forget the other series. I haven't read Pluto yet, but I own Volume 1 to 8, except for Volume 3. But anyways, Monster is a great series. Please read it if you haven't. And I love how they made the covers of the series, because when you put it all together, it sort of makes a portrait, so that's nice. The next package is from eBay. It was a seller selling a pair of mangas. It was Kenshin Volume 2 and 4, and I got them for a fairly good price, so that made me pick up the whole 1 to 4 volumes, I guess. Again, I really like how the spine looks. The covers are nice, and hopefully is good. I mean, you know, I see a character that has a sword, so I'm just hoping that everything's nice about it. Yeah. package is a package from eBay. I bought a set of 2 books, book 1 and 2 of a series called King of Bandits, Jing. I've never read this one, and I don't really know much about the series. I had an online friend who uses that name tag though, King of Bandits, so I assume that he enjoyed the series and chose that name or that online alias because he really enjoys it or that it's good. The art does look pretty attractive. It has that sort of retro style. It is a very old book or old series. The books do have wear and tear with some yellowing. And I've heard that a lot of either characters or places are named after alcoholic drinks, so that's going to be interesting when I read through it. Next up, we have a package from a seller on Mangaswap. I got 3 books from the seller. They're mostly singles or volume 1s. The first is Bloody Monday, and Bloody Monday, I've read it before in the past online. It's about a young hacker, I believe, who was helping the government trying to work against terrorists, and it's sort of like a mystery series. You uncover some type of knowledge, and there's plot twists and things of the sort. And I remember I really enjoyed it. There is only the part 1 or part 2 that's in the physical form right now, but I do plan on collecting the entire series of that. And I also really like the black and white alternating arts of the series, sort of like Kakegurui or Dead Man Wonderland. I just really have a thing for black and white spines on mangas when you put them on a shelf. And alright, moving on to the next. Solonin is the second book. It was my first manga that I've read from Inio Asano. A lot of people recommended to start off with that one before you get into Goodnight Poon Poon, because Solonin isn't as depressing. There is some tragedy going on, but I felt like it was a pretty good read. It wasn't anything crazy, like it wasn't anything super fantastic, but it was a pretty good read, and I would recommend it to anyone who's sort of in a similar stage in life where you sort of just finished school and you don't really know what to do with your life, sort of. I mean, I am currently employed and I did finish school a little bit like over a year ago, but it makes you think about certain things. It makes you ponder about, you know, life and choices that you make and things of the sort. So please check out Solonin. And lastly, there is Opus. Opus I don't really know too much about. However, I remember seeing it on one YouTuber's recommended list. I really enjoy picking up single volumes of mangas, like things that aren't in series, because they're short reads and they sort of leave you with some type of impression or some type of feel regarding that story. It just overall is more impressive in my mind than having a story spread out through multiple series, and collecting singles is also a lot easier than collecting a whole series. Opus, what I remember from what the YouTuber said was that it's a story about how the writer was sort of talking about like Inception in a way, where he gets sucked into a manga board that he was writing about, and he meets the character and things happen to them, and the character conveys to him how, you know, how they wish God would stop doing all these tragic things to them. But I don't know, it just felt like a very interesting read, so I decided to pick it up. I don't remember if I heard good or bad things about it, but you know what? Let's check it out. Let's decide that myself. Lastly, we have a package from a seller on Makari, and it is the Death Note series, the first half or so at least. I've been looking to pick up this series for a while for a decent price. I can't find the box set, but I have been seeing many people selling the whole set for fairly good prices, I guess, agreeable prices within the $100 range. And I saw that the seller was selling just the first half for pretty good price, so I picked it up, and I'm gonna pick up the other half from Rightstuff or wherever else I'm gonna get it. So here they are, volume 7654. No 4. 765, 1, 2, and 4? 1, 2, and 4. Actually, there's 4. There's no 3. That's what it is. Yeah. The first one has a little bend on the tip of that corner on the cover, but that's okay. Some of them have some yellowing. It is a old series, so I'm not surprised. Their spines very colorful. Their cover art is fantastic. I really like the series, so I definitely enjoy picking up the singles. And that concludes the video. It has went on a little longer than I expected. Here is a summary of the series that I've picked up for the latter half of this month. If there are series that you see in here that I didn't show, that's because they're part of the Rightstuff anime haul that I've gotten, which I'll be doing in a different video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and subscribe if you do. Thank you again. See you next time.